Hey guys, wanted to make this video because I wanted to send an invitation out to folks, and I'll tell you what the invitation is all about in a second. So I'm actually driving around today, just so folks know that I actually do some stuff in real estate. Gonna be headed to somewhere to get something shored up for a tenant moving in. I mentioned before when I was trying to quit my job that I had no idea how I was going to quit my job. I was in agony trying to figure out how to quit my job. And I know a lot of people have the sentiment that, you know what, you hate your job. And that's a sticky point, right? You hate your job. It's a holiday season and, you know, you don't make enough money, hate your job. You're wondering what's going to happen next year. You got tons of bills. You have no time for yourself. You have no time for family. And it's like, why do you even bother getting up in the morning, right? Because it's like, I'm not making the money I want to make. I hate my job. And then I got tons of bills weighing me down. So in the midst of me having, you know, just issues when I was going through my journey of having a job, wanting to quit it, saw no way out. And then it was like one day I got up and I realized that there was an answer coming. I didn't know when it was going to come. I just knew there was an answer coming. And it was a certain calmness I felt to know that, you know, I might not be out of my job yet, but my answer was coming. And the answer I knew that was coming, I knew it was coming from God. And at the time, I not to say, you know what, some people think of this stuff like hocus pocus, and I'm in the science world, so I don't believe in hocus pocus kind of stuff. I like to see documented kind of proof that something is happening. And I think a lot of us, when we go through and we think about religion, God, that kind of stuff, for some of us who are already in that world, we don't understand when someone says, I want to see some kind of proof that this thing exists, right? That God exists and all that exists, and you rationalize it. So I'm kind of mentioning this to say that I was in that space, that I believe that there was some higher being to life, there's something like that, but on a, you know, a cursory level, not on a deep, true level. But when I was going through my journey of trying to quit the job, I think God kind of revealed himself through that medium for me to put in perspective for me the power of what he's able to do. Because I literally needed to see proof that, hey, God does things. And it's like, if I knew it at the core, you know, to see the universe the way it's created, it's like, yeah, I know there's a God that exists, but do I really truly felt it? Did I see it in my life working? And I couldn't have an explanation for that in my life. So it was kind of hard to even, you know, entertain or have conversations with people when we're talking about, you know, the supernatural, the realm of God, right, being out there. And so that's why I'm inviting you out to a music, worship, prayer call, because I found an answer to my situation that I was dealing with. And chances are, you know, we all have different situations. It's not even chances. We just have all of us have different situations that plague us, that cause us grief, that we're dealing with. And that's, I've heard before, you know, your cross to bear, right, is your issue. It's yours and yours only. No one else could feel it for you. And so no one else could feel my anguish with not having a job. To be honest with you, they didn't even understand it. They wouldn't understand that, you know, why? It's like, why you got an issue? You're getting paid every day, you know, you're going to work, you're getting paid, you have somewhere to go, you're meeting people, you're having a lot of things that other people don't have, right? That other people would dream of having. They would dream of having a steady paycheck coming in, right? Some people don't. And yet here it was, I was trying to get out of having a steady paycheck. Some people have the freedom of being able to just go somewhere. And some people, you know what, they're confined at home. They can't go anywhere. So for me to want to leave my job, knowing that I could literally get up, jump in my car, go to a job. Some people are like, man, I'd kill to have that kind of idea that I could get up and actually go somewhere. And it almost seemed like I was taking these things for granted, but it was like, it wasn't. And it was my cross to bear that, you know what, God had something else in mind for me that I needed to fulfill. And that was his way of getting me to wake up and say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to make you still at this job because I have something else for you to do. And I need you to be in that power where you want to leave this job as well. And so when I finally made the connection of what was happening, my desire that I wanted to leave my job, and then knowing that there was an answer coming, though it wasn't there yet, I knew it was coming. And I knew that was God working. So eventually, 2 years ago, around this time, around Christmas time, I literally left my job. I gave my boss the notice, and it was around this time. It was a surreal moment that I knew at the time that it was happening, that, you know what, it really wasn't me that did this. It was truly God working his magic and orchestrating all the pieces that they fell into place perfectly. So recently, I recently tried to close a house, and I was selling the house to a fellow, and he really wants this house. And this house is taking like 4 months to close, to the point where it's supposed to be the closing of today. And we're pins and needles going, you know what, this is not going to close because we need some documents in. And it's so weird. I made a call out to the mortgage company and kind of got some info. And then something else happened on his side, and I could actually see God's working. You know what, we force things to think that it should happen on our time. And it's like it doesn't. It happens when it's the right time. I had a conversation with the fellow today, and it was like, you know what, I see God again moving. Before, when you're close to God in a sense, you're not realizing how he's working, and that whatever you're going through that seems like there's no end to it, like seem like it's not happening either fast enough or it's just not happening. It's an idea that God's behind the scenes coordinating and orchestrating all the pieces to make it happen. And so that's why, you know what, I'm doing a music prayer worship call, and these music prayer worship calls are inspirational, insightful. It's the stuff that actually got me to the understanding of how God works, and actually to be more vigilant in me staying awake and alert, and I guess more awakened in a sense to actually see him working, and definitely allow him to do his thing without the botherance of me picking at him all the time, saying, you're not moving fast enough, you're not doing this, you should do that, when I know he knows better, and that what he does is magical, and he always comes through at the right time. So if you're feeling that sense that, you know what, you're needing some inspiration, you're needing some reminder, or you're the person that says, you know what, I see this working, and I really want to thank God for what he's done, I'm inviting you out to the music prayer worship calls that I do on Sundays at 11 o'clock Eastern time. That's 11 o'clock New York Eastern time, that you're certainly welcome to hop on. Now, I do those calls, they're not recorded, so you have to be there live. There's going to be a link somewhere that allows you to get access to the call. Pretty much you could go to that page, and on the day of the call, just scroll down to the bottom of the page, click the link, and you'll automatically be connected to the Zoom music prayer worship call that we do. All are welcome from whatever country. As long as you're able to log on and listen in, you are certainly welcome. So hopefully I'll see you on that prayer worship call, and I'll give you updates on my next music prayer worship call, because they're not all the time. So if you want notifications of when those are going to be, definitely head to that same page, and on that page you'll get access to sign up for the notification list, that when I'm hosting another one, you could definitely hop on. So hopefully you've got to see in the city a little bit, and next time, who knows, I might be showing you another project of what I'm up to see if I can get it completed. But until that time, hopefully I'll see you on the music prayer worship call.